like clockwork, as soon as he turned the combine on, it's starting to sprinkle here. Just fired up the combine, moved the combine and corn head last night, and got the truck and grain cart here this morning. So Dad just fired it up. It's starting to rain pretty good, but we'll see if we can get 1,000 bushels made, and maybe the farm opened up. Pretty tight driveway getting in here, and there's not much space. We debated on keeping the truck on the road, but the road is pretty narrow itself. I don't think the grain cart and truck will fit together trying to dump on the road, so I'm gonna try to back it up here a little bit more and try that. Once I get off this gravel, it kind of turns to mud quick, so I gotta be careful. I got rocks on this side, and I gotta get my back end of the trailer over to the other side here, but got a fence post and everything else here, so I don't want to get my front end over in that mud. I could not see a thing out my mirrors right now either, so not fun. Well, that's that. Already rained out. Was hoping to get one truckload made at least this morning, but it's raining pretty hard right now, so we're just gonna shut it down and close up the tarps and everything. But it's got probably 200 bushel made. Yeah, it was fine all morning. As soon as he turned the combine on, it started raining, and it came down pretty fast. So going to shut this down and pick everything up, and we'll be back here in a day or so. Shut everything down back in the Kenworth. The plan was to get this loaded up and run a few loads to the dryer, because that's running right now, but the landowner here is going to give Dad a ride back to the bin site. I'm going to take the empty truck home. It needs to be greased, fueled up, and might as well wash it down and clean it up again for the next go around. That was the plan anyways. We're just hoping to do it a little bit later yet today instead of so soon. Well, that's about as far as you made it on the headland over here. This is tiled ground, so hopefully we're not going to make that bad of a muddy mess here. It should be fairly drained. This corn was hit by 1 or 2 hailstorms, so it got beat up pretty bad. It looks pretty tough, but we'll see what it does on the monitor and stuff. Got the truck and trailer all washed off. The sun's actually trying to come out now. According to the Weather Channel, it wasn't supposed to until like 4 o'clock, and it's only a little after lunch now. But I don't know, maybe we could have waited to let it blow over, then we would have been able to go back to work. But maybe tomorrow. Going to let this dry off a little bit while it's outside. It's pretty windy out, so it shouldn't take too long before I pull it in the shop here. Hasn't been greased since the beginning of harvest, early September. So it's hard to believe it's already in the middle of November. But yeah, gonna pull this in the shed once it dries off a little bit, get it greased up, and put it back to work probably tomorrow. Truck is greased, washed, blew out the cab a little bit. Obviously didn't go too crazy with anything, you know, just rinsed it and took the air gun to the cab because we're gonna go right back to work tomorrow. So ended up being a really nice afternoon after all. Wasn't expecting this. That's what you get for listening to the weatherman, I guess. Yeah, me and Dad feel like we screwed up a little bit and we should be in the combine shelling right now, and we should just waited out the rainstorm. It only rained for, I don't know, a couple hours, and the sun's been out since like 1 o'clock. So it turned out to be a really nice afternoon, but that's okay. There's lots of little things we needed to do around the home farm here. Always on the road and in the combine, you kind of neglect a lot of other things. So I'm gonna get this hooked up now, and then I'll be ready to go tomorrow morning first thing. Hey, Austin. Did you find one yet? Austin Allen. Yeah. Hey, can you wave hi? Austin, wave hi. Come here. Austin Allen. What are you doing? Yeah. You find a Christmas tree? I ended up playing hooky over the weekend, but Dad was able to keep on harvesting with the help of my brother. So we're back at this farm now. They got about, probably looking like it, 2/3 done. So with that being said, as long as nothing breaks or nothing weird happens, should be able to get this farm done today. And then we should be able to move the machines up to the home farm, and then we're gonna really start having some fun. Gonna be here majority of the day, and then late afternoon, as long as everything goes well, we'll be moving machines tonight. The windows are nice and frosty yet. Let's turn that on. Just got going here. I'm over 8 rows because we want to have the grain cart dumping on the go, headed towards the south behind me. So I'm having the grain cart go towards the wood. Once I get turned around, I'll jump on these 8 rows next to me and it'll start dumping. We'll do that for 2 rounds. I don't think we're going to fill the grain cart right up while it's out in the middle of the field. It's still pretty soft yet, even though this is tiled, and it's a lot better than the last couple of farms we were at. Yeah, that way when the grain cart does have its 2 dumps on it, it will be on the headland where the truck's going to be, back behind me over there, in that barn. So just heading up that one way, I was 78% full, and now I'm on this 8 rows, and the grain cart's going to come driving under me in a second here. The duals on the 8410 are just about rubbing the corn on the other rows, but Alright, so I'm gonna stop and clean all the windows. Not too much left to go here. I'm really surprised how well this corn is actually doing in here. This was one of the farms that got hit by hail once or maybe even twice, and just pelted the corn pretty good. I don't think I have a picture of it anymore, but it looked pretty nasty a few months ago, and I didn't think it was gonna do that well. But so far, according to the monitor, keep in mind this thing is only so accurate, and it's been a minute since we had this calibrated, but according to the monitor on the combine, you know, we're pushing well over 200 bushel, which is awesome. Was not expecting that after all the damage that we had over the summer and the year we had, but this farm we recently tiled back in the summer of 2022, so this is really the first crop we've had on this since we tiled it. This was one of our wetter farms. If you go back through my videos of Harvest 2021, you scroll almost near the end of that video, you'll see water just laying everywhere. And we got this tiled, and this farm used to be broke up into like 3 different fields. We used to farm it east and west, and now we're farming it north and south, nice and long rows. So we spent some time here cleaning everything up and getting it tiled and drained, and it's performing really well, like we anticipated. Even with the hail damage and everything, who knows what it would have done if we had a little bit of a different summer. But either way, it's still doing really nice. But if you have the time, go check that video out and you'll see what I'm talking about. I mean, this was one of our wettest farms. There would be water standing everywhere right now if we didn't have this tiled. I don't believe I have a picture of that hail damage I took from the summer. I took a video or even some pictures, but I probably removed them off my phone by now. Next year we plan on putting soybeans here, I believe, so would be really nice to get the disc or the chisel plow in here. It's relatively dry in here, so this is definitely one of the farms we're going to want to work up when we get a chance. As I might have mentioned before in the previous video or so, some of the non-tiled farms we were cutting corn in last week, I don't really see us touching with any of the tillage tools this fall because they're so muddy. As much as we'd like to break up the corn stalks and fill in the ruts so stuff dries down nicer next spring, I don't see it happening. The combine is full once again. Got the grain cart full up there. The semi truck seems to be the weakest link right now, so we're not waiting too long, probably 15 minutes or so. So it's not too bad. Okay, you're full. Grain cart is full again, so I'm filling up the combine once more. Once I get this pass done, there's only going to be 8 rows left, so can't break down the combine yet while we're waiting for the semi to show up because I still need to cut 8 rows once he gets back. Would have been nice to start breaking everything down while we're sitting there waiting, but it's a good problem to have, so can't complain too much. So, gonna get the combine filled up, wait for the semi to show up, dump right away, do this last 8 rows. What I am gonna do is get the pickup hooked onto the header cart. It's kind of in a weird spot. I'm gonna get that all ready for when it is time to start breaking this down. I can just pull up to it and just drop the head on it. Always something to do, even while you're waiting for the truck to show up. Cleaning windows or getting the truck hooked up on the header cart. Find something to do to stay busy for 15-20 minutes. Well, I was gonna move the header cart and kind of get it parked over here hugging this grass out of the way, but it's kind of in a weird spot. I can't hand push it myself because the mud is actually stickier than I thought right here where we've been loading the truck and everything. Doesn't look bad on camera, and it's not bad in the field, 50 some feet away. I probably could hand push it, but right there it's pretty sticky, so not gonna push it by hand by myself anyways. Can't get the pickup hooked onto it to back it up there unless these other cars were out of the way, and I can't drive the pickup on this side of it because, as you can see, there's just standing water there. So probably gonna have to hook a chain onto the back end of the header cart maybe with the 8410, but not gonna do that while that's fully loaded. We'll just wait till we dump everything off of it and then do that. So I tried to move it, but it's not gonna happen until we get dumped or Dad gets here, helps me push it or do something else with it. Could hook a chain onto the pickup and pull it back, but then it's gonna be kind of facing the wrong way that it needs to be facing. Need to have it facing outwards, and it would be facing kind of backwards, and there's not much room for the pickup to hook onto it once I do get it pulled back. So what I'm thinking is hook the tractor on the back end of it with the chain and kind of just drag it back this way, and then we can somehow maybe get the pickup hooked onto it right there where I wanted it to begin with. So I'll change of plans. The guy that lives in the building here, he's got a old John Deere 60, and we're gonna hook that onto the cart here, just back up to it, and then get the cart where we need it. I have a feeling that Dad's gonna pull in with the semi right when we're trying to do this. Like clockwork. I thought I heard him up the road, but yeah, the guy that lives here, he just pulled in the driveway and he's got an old John Deere 60, and we'll just hook it on that. That'll probably be the easiest. For some of you comment, why not just use the 399? That is not mobile. There's something going on with the transmission or something, so that's just gonna sit there. Another farm done. Gonna start unhooking this and moving everything up towards the home farm. I was doing the last 8 rows. The guy that lives in the house here pulled out his tractor and moved the header cart for us, which was nice of him. So I really wanted to get that John Deere 60 on film just to hear it. They always sound pretty good, but I think he's already got it moved and picked up, maybe. Still got it hooked up. I'm actually gonna ask him to back it up so I have more room to hook it on back here, and then we'll just drag it up maybe, and then unhook it once the head's on the cart. be good. Thought we had the truck far enough on the driveway here, but no dice. Didn't even want to pull it ahead, so the 60s to the rescue again. There we go. That's good, Bill. That's good. Well, we got the corn head unstuck. I thought we had to pull it up ahead far enough, but the pickup truck's so light, there's no weight on it, no toolboxes, no nothing. And it was barely on the gravel, just the front end. So even with the full drive on, it was just spinning. And the corn head was sitting still in the mud pretty good, so that was just a big boat anchor. But we got it on the road now. I think that's gonna do it for this one. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, thank you. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Man, it gets dark fast this time of year.